The United States of America, the land of opportunity, the melting pot of cultures, a beacon of democracy. Its influence is undeniable, its history vast. So how did this seemingly endless story begin? Long before the first European ship arrived on its shores, the United States was already teeming with life. For thousands of years, diverse Native American tribes thrived across the continent. From the majestic cities of the Iroquois Confederacy in the northeast to the innovative irrigation systems of the Pueblo people in the southwest, these societies were complex, their cultures rich, and their populations large. They lived in harmony with nature, developing sustainable ways of living that would shape the continent. But on October 12, 1492, everything changed. Italian explorer Christopher Columbus, sailing under the Spanish flag, stumbled upon the Caribbean islands, marking the beginning of a new era, an era of exploration, conquest, and colonization. The United States, as we know it, was about to be born. The Spanish, Portuguese, and French quickly laid claim to vast territories, exploiting the land and its people for wealth and power. The French established settlements in Canada and the Mississippi River Valley, while the Spanish extended their dominion across the south and west. But it was the English who would have the most profound impact. As European powers competed for dominance, they established colonies along the Atlantic coast, each with its own unique character and purpose. By the 1700s, Britain's 13 colonies were thriving, exporting goods, growing populations, and most importantly, becoming self-sufficient. However, this prosperity came at a cost. Increasingly, the relationship between the colonies and the mother country soured due to rising tensions over taxation and control. The cries of no taxation without representation echoed through the colonies, galvanizing the colonists into action. In 1776, the Declaration of Independence was signed, marking a pivotal moment in world history. It was the first time a nation had declared its independence from colonial rule. The American Revolution had begun. For years, the colonies, with the support of France, fought against the mighty British Empire. Battles were fought, alliances formed, and the future of a nation hung in the balance. Eventually, the United States emerged victorious, securing its place on the world stage. In 1787, the United States Constitution was drafted, establishing a new form of government. It introduced a system of checks and balances, separating powers and creating a framework for a representative democracy. This revolutionary document would serve as the foundation for the nation's growth and development. The young nation embarked on a journey of expansion, acquiring vast territories through purchases, treaties, and explorations. The Louisiana Purchase in 1803 nearly doubled the size of the United States. Explorers like Lewis and Clark ventured into the heart of a continent, opening up the American West, but this westward movement wasn't without its challenges. Conflicts with Native Americans, disputes with Mexico, and the looming issue of slavery threatened to tear the nation apart. For decades, the United States grappled with the question of slavery. As the nation grew, so did the divide between the pro-slavery and anti-slavery factions. In 1861, this tension culminated in the American Civil War, the bloodiest chapter in the nation's history. But through the leadership of figures like Abraham Lincoln, the Union was preserved, and with the Emancipation Proclamation, millions of enslaved people were set free. The post-war era saw the nation struggling to heal and rebuild. But amidst the challenges, industry boomed, transforming the United States into an economic powerhouse. Railroads connected distant markets, factories produced an abundance of goods, and immigration fueled a dynamic workforce. By the late 1800s, the United States was a major player on the world stage. In 1917, it entered World War I, contributing to the Allied victory. The Roaring Twenties followed, an era of economic prosperity and cultural change. But it was short-lived. The Great Depression of the 1930s hit hard, leaving millions unemployed and businesses shattered. And then came World War II, a global conflict that would change the world forever. The United States, alongside its allies, emerged victorious, but not without great sacrifice. In the aftermath, the United States found itself in a new position of global leadership. From 1945 to 1991, it engaged in a battle of ideologies and geopolitical tensions with the Soviet Union, a battle that became known as the Cold War. This era was marked by the space race, the Cuban Missile Crisis, and the Vietnam War, among other significant events. Finally, in 1991, the Soviet Union collapsed, ending the Cold War and leaving the United States as the last superpower. The late 20th century witnessed remarkable changes. Civil rights movements fought for equality and justice, breaking down barriers and expanding rights for all Americans. Technology revolutionized daily life, shrinking the world and connecting people like never before. But the nation also faced new challenges, including a series of economic recessions and the tragedy of 9/11s. In response, the United States launched the global war on terror, engaging in conflicts in Afghanistan and Iraq. Despite these challenges, the United States continued to be a driving force in global politics, economy, and culture. It faced economic recessions, political debates, and natural disasters, yet it persevered. Today, the United States stands as one of the most influential nations in the world. Its story, once marked by revolution and westward expansion, now defined by technological advancements, cultural diversity, and global engagement. From the bustling cities of the East Coast to the vast landscapes of the West, the United States continues to be a land of opportunity, a melting pot of cultures, and a beacon of democracy. This has been the history of the United States of America. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and join us next time on Explorer Globe.